This is the Central Coast's anti-social network.
If you're on the planet, you know ABBA. You know.
I'm going to debunk that theory. I don't know any ABBA. I mean, I know Dancing Queen.
You're Jeff. I know
Dancing
You're the contrarian.
Queen.
You constantly fight everything. You're tiring, Jeff. You want to get tired and get annoyed, so you're tiring and annoying. Shut the hell up.
Wow, that was quick.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you were such a big ABBA.
No, it's not even that.
I won't speak badly.
It just happened to be ABBA. If I told you crap doesn't taste good, you're going to go and give me research that it does. And here we are.
Apparently you do think crap tastes good because you like ABBA so much.
See, there you go.
This is the Central Coast's anti-social network.
So you're tiring and annoying. Shut the hell up.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.
Funk. Getting funky. Tuesday's funk day.
Tuesday. No alliteration for Tuesday's funky day.
No, there's not. But every day should be funk day. You should have a little bit of funk in your day every day. Every single day.
Funkified.
In fact, it should be wake up music, really. I mean, you like right when you get out of bed, you should have a little funk track going there, and you're like, all right, let's go. Let's get going with this. Let's do this. I could do this today.
There you go.
So my guess is that Taylor Swift knows nothing about football because she was caught when Travis Kelce scored the touchdown on Sunday, and she was up in the suite with his parents and stuff like that. Apparently, they caught her, and you could lip read, and she says, "Let's effing go." And I'm like, dude, you're playing the Chicago Bears at home, okay? like, do you know anything about football? Like, they're going to win this game.
I bet Taylor Swift knows more about football than I know about Taylor Swift. I'll give her that. Because I don't know anything about Taylor Swift, except for that she's very popular.
But I mean, for her to get up and like start cussing in front of mom like that, like you don't cuss in front of mom.
Well, I don't know. Maybe mom has a mouth on her. We don't know. I mean, she's. By the way, their mom is
those Kelce kids.
I mean, after the Super Bowl and they played each other, and she's in commercials.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good thing to have two kids that go on to put your kids into football.
I recognized her before I recognized Taylor Swift when they showed the booth. I'm like, hey, there's the mom because she's on the NFL commercials. Oh, there's Taylor Swift. Okay, wow. Okay, that's real. She actually is there. Okay.
You got to be the only person in America that would recognize Kelce's mom, which I don't even know her name.
I don't know her name either. Just
the Kelce's
Mrs. Kelce. Mrs. Kelce.
Mom.
Ms. Kelce.
Over Taylor Swift.
Is there a dad in the picture? Because he's not a part of any of this. So I'm thinking maybe she's
probably just like
either a widow or divorced or single mom, whatever. There you go, guys. There you go.
But for her to go like I mean, it goes back to that whole thing I was critical about Deion Sanders and the Colorado fan base rushing the field after beating Colorado State when you were supposed to beat them by 24 and you beat them in double overtime. I mean, and they had you the whole game.
I will say
and
this.
We all saw what happened in Colorado this weekend.
I could hang with Taylor Swift because I have a potty mouth too. And I didn't know that she was swearing. But
but you're going to say, let's effing go?
Yes. Come on, it's a game. Let her know, man.
I was dating a girl once, and I had her to.
This could happen to me.
She met my mom, and so that was a sign that it was kind of serious. And within 5 minutes of meeting my mom, she's having a conversation with her, and she drops the F-bomb. And I'm like looking at her like, what are you doing? And she realized that she did it. And it was like one of those things where we talk about all the time when people were in a conversation with people and they cuss and we have a button and we can edit it out and all that stuff. And they get very upset about it. They're like, oh man, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. We see it as a compliment. Now, don't do it all the time, but we see it as a compliment because that means you're comfortable around us. That's a good sign.
Is that how your mom took it? Was it a compliment?
My mom took it from her that way too. She's like, oh, don't worry about it. I just see it as you're comfortable around me. That's cool. So maybe she was just trying to show that she was comfortable around her parents.
Yeah, maybe one F-bomb around somebody's in-laws or parents that you're dating or, that you're with, is
Say,
okay.
all right.
Is okay.
Don't you say, all right,
but
go
then
team,
after
or
that,
something
maybe
like that?
Go team.
Let's effing go.
Yeah.
Come on, settle down, girl.
Hey, maybe she's a big football fan. Maybe she's a bigger fan than you think.
Not if she's like, let's effing go against the Chicago Bears, okay?
Today on the show, we got more clues coming up in the Where's Susanna in a box? She'll be in a box again this Friday, 7:50 this morning. We'll have a new clue for you. Yesterday, should we give it out? No, we're not giving it out.
No, we're not going to do that. Come on, man. Come on, man.
We only had one person say they oh man, I was listening and I missed it. I had my ear to the radio and I'm like, he yelled it. So yeah, good luck. But that's okay.
Against the Chicago Bears?
I had to bring that guy up. I'm sorry.
Took you long enough to find that guy. Also, 720
We don't
Power
talk
Trip
about the
Festival.
Bears very often.
Power Trip Festival is going to be down in Indio, California, and we've got tickets to send you to 3 days of it, all right? You're going to go Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Guns N' Roses, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest with AC/DC on Saturday night. Wraps up with Metallica and Tool on Sunday. We're sending you there. You got to get the band from us at 7:20, the clue from Kurt Olson at 11:20, and between 2 and 6 today when Suzanne plays it, be the first person to get through on the phone lines, and you win 3-day passes to go to the Power Trip Festival. We're calling it the KZOZ Power Trip Stockpile. Got tickets all this week for you, too. And one winner this week is going to get a free tank of gas from Miss Gassé herself, Suzanne. She'll fill you up. Details and more, you can to KZOZ.com.
Spending 4 hours in a box together every day can make you say crazy things.
Don't go crazy.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
So remember when they hired 87,000 IRS agents?
Yes, I do.
According to Complex. Complex is a music, pop culture website. The IRS is going to start coming after you if you made more than $600 in resale tickets in 2023. So if you were a capitalist and you were able to secure, let's just say, because I can't bring her up enough without pissing you off, Taylor Swift. But it's the biggest ticket out there. That's why I'm bringing it up.
No, okay. Yeah.
If you were able to buy face value Taylor Swift tickets and then you're like, whoa, these tickets are going for $1,000 and I got it for $100, which I think it was more than that, but whatever. I can make a tidy profit here. So you sell them for $1,000 and you bought them for $100. You made $900 off that. The IRS is going to come after you. Now, where this really affects people is a lot of people will go to Ticketmaster and StubHub to place these tickets on there as a marketplace. So they have records of your transaction. So they're contacting Ticketmaster and StubHub and saying, hey, if you made money on, we need a list of people that made more than $600 on their resale tickets this year. And Ticketmaster and StubHub are going to be compliant because it's the IRS and they're going to hand over a list. So you will be audited if you sold any
I like this.
resale tickets.
I'm okay with this because I've never been a big fan of people, just jumping in, buying up a bunch of tickets, and then trying to double the value of them and sell them to other people. And then shows are, technically sold out, but you could pay through if you want to buy them through one of these third markets. So I'm okay with this. I think this is good. I think those people should have to be accounted for because, I don't know, it's not really fair. And I'm not trying to sound like, oh, it's got to be fair for everyone, but
Yeah, you're sounding like that. What about the marketplace? I mean, what about capitalism? I mean, hell, I scored some tickets. Maybe I won them from a radio station. I'm not even a Taylor Swift fan.
You got to pay. You got to pay. It takes money to make money, and sometimes you got to pay the man, and you got to pay the man this time.
I'm not big on this. This is part of the American Rescue Plan Act, by the way. This was written into the American Rescue Plan Act. We're going to go after ticket resellers. And it's like, it's the whole Venmo thing, right? The Venmo thing. If you do more than $600 in transactions on Venmo, it raises a red flag, and then they're coming after you. Is
it $600? Is that all? I thought it was more than that.
$600. $600.
A year?
Yes.
God, that's how I pay the gal that cuts my hair. I pay. Well, I don't ever get money on Venmo unless I pick up. The great thing about Venmo is I'll stop at Costco and I'll pick up some stuff from my friend, and then I'll just ring it up separate, send him a bill, and he'll just send me the money. You know, it's super easy way to get money from cheap ass. Like you should be said, oh, I haven't paid you yet. I got to pay you for fantasy football, and I bet you there's a bunch of other people in our league that haven't paid you yet, and you could send them all a Venmo bill. I'm going to do it right now. I don't want to forget. I
appreciate it. And if you're listening and you're in our fantasy football league,
yeah, get off your lazy ass.
And you haven't paid yet, then
what's your name on Venmo so everybody can send you money?
Oh, I love that idea. You want to accidentally send me some money? Do you want me to send you a request?
Yes, because I don't want to pay the wrong loser.
It's your wife's name, though. Is that cool?
No, it's not my wife's name.
That's what I have in here for you, for top people.
Should say Westworld.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's your wife's name, though. This is the username.
Well, she set up the account. Yeah, go ahead. Send me a bill.
Careful. You don't want to learn from this. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.
All right, Jeff and Jeremy with your next clue coming up here in just a few minutes for Sue's in a Box. This is 6 tickets to see Alice in Chains at Vina Wilders with KZOZ. Plus, we're going to get you to and from the show with Ride On Transportation. They're going to pick up your whole crew, take you to the show, and bring you back. But you got to find Sue's in the box on Friday. Yes, she is actually in a box. If you missed it, check it out on our socials, KZOZ on Instagram or Facebook. There she is in the box. Kevin found her. He won 6 tickets, and he's got his transportation all set with Ride On. You could do the same. Our next clue coming up here in less than 10 minutes.
The fruit rat that was in my house in San Luis Obispo, those discussions have been well documented. I fought that thing off for like a month and eventually got it with a rat trap and some summer sausage, thanks to the folks over at Farm Supply for supplying that suggestion to me. They said, oh yeah, summer sausage works the best. Keep that in mind if you're ever battling a rat. I don't know how you battle this. Okay. This lady hit a bird and it got stuck in the grill of her car. So she takes it into the car wash, Mike's Car Wash in Indiana, and says, hey, there's a bird in the grill. Can you guys take care of that? And they're like, yeah, sure. So then the car wash workers are working on getting the bird out of the grill. They notice a noise coming from the bumper of the car. Now, it doesn't say what kind of car it is. But, you know, bumpers, they're hard to get into, right? Well, in this noise that they hear, they got to say, okay, we got to figure out what the animal is that's in there, because they can hear an animal running back and forth in the bumper of the car. So they have to call the Fort Wayne, Indiana Animal Care and Control. Then they have to disassemble the front of the car. They find out after disassembling the front of the car that there's a groundhog living in the bumper of the car.
Okay. Groundhog.
Okay.
Weird place.
So the groundhog is squirrely. He's upset. He's mad that they're taking him from his home, which is the bumper of this lady's car. They take the groundhog out. They set it down on the ground. The groundhog then runs back to the car and crawls up inside the wheel well and into the
engine compartment.
No, the back wheel well. So it's the back wheel well, and jumps up into the rear suspension. Then they have to take the tire off of the car in order to get their hands up in there into the rear suspension and pick this groundhog out. And finally, then animal control takes it away. They were just going to let it loose, but he has an affinity for the car. Could you imagine you're taking your car in and you're like, hey, I got a bird stuck in my front grill. And
this is not how I would handle this situation at all.
A whole day ordeal.
We would be going down a very rough, bumpy road. And that poor bastard would be like, oh my God. Take that little bastard on the ride of his life.
I would just say, hey, listen, you know what? If he wants to live in there, let him live in there, but I'm going to drive my car. But I think once it goes up in the suspension, it could cause problems to your car. When it was in the bumper before, it's just living in the bumper, whatever.
Yeah.
She didn't even know. She had no idea. She went in for a totally different reason altogether.
I don't know if people have to deal with pack rats. Usually if you live on some sort of land and you're kind of out a little bit, you can deal with pack rats. And they're bad because they'll get in, they'll make nests in your motor.
Garbage.
You had a nest of mice or something in your, was it squirrels? What was
they
it?
They chewed up my brake line in my old minivan.
Yeah. They can chew, they'll chew
Because I hadn't
on wires.
driven the minivan in a couple months.
So a trick is you leave your hood open because they like dark spaces. So if you're ever driving around like farm country or wine country and you see a bunch of hoods up, they probably got pack rats. Because if their light's coming through, they won't build a nest there. But if the hood's down, it's dark. So they do that. And
how is that if you park your van on the street in San Luis Obispo? Does that work out good?
Well, you leave your hood open.
Considering the fact that Priuses are now used as mechanisms to rob Big Fives, I don't think that's a good method to just leave your engine compartment open. Because that's where I'd have my minivan parked. It was just parked on the street out in front of my place.
They're not going to steal the engine. You know how much work that would take? I mean, I don't think there's anything you could steal.
But it raises a red flag that I'm parked there for a long period of time without moving the vehicle. If you have
yes, that's true too. But anyways, my buddy drove an hour and a half to his house from his place, and his pack rat was still there. The cats were up under his wheel wells trying to get at it, and finally it ran away. But it made an hour and a half drive, in his truck. Cats are great.
I love our cat. Our cat is by far our most useful animal.
No rodents
in the house.
You will not have rodents when you have cats.
And loves going out there and looking for rodents.
Yeah.
Like she is a tiny little cat, and she's not a killer. Like you said, I should feed her a lot less, then she'll be a killer. But she's not a killer. But she's definitely gets into their heads or does something, and she sits out there for hours just waiting. And I feel bad for her because she doesn't realize that she's done her job, and then they're not going to come around. But she still sits out there. She's walking around.
I think she's content. I think you shouldn't feel bad for her at all.
She's a security guard.
Yeah.
She is a built-in security guard. Yes. It is the greatest investment, is the little cat that goes outside and hangs outside during the day, sometimes during the night.
Yeah, my buddy's got them. They're inside his cabin. They're inside his shop. They're everywhere. They're causing all kinds of problems. And they get into the back of his truck because he has a deer feeder, and he feeds them corn. So he's got cracked corn, all this stuff. And he left the tailgate down. They were in there. They tore it up. They made a big mess. I'm like, get some damn cats down here.
Cats, yeah. You got to get some cats.
Cats are the best.
But the problem is your friend loves cats too much.
Well, he has 2 cats that he lives with, and his wife would never let them come down. Actually, one of the cats he found down there was almost dead. It was stray, and then he brought it back to life. But, you go and you get yourself a couple other cats.
Yeah.
I don't know,
very resilient. And if you give them something to do, like chasing pack rats, I mean, they're very happy.
So
I get some kind of self-feeder thing or something, or have a neighbor do it or something.
So the end of this story is they did get the gopher out, but they had to take off the back wheel and the suspension. And, I mean, how much did this cost her?
To get your car washed. Well, I'm hoping that all costs were paid for by the animal control in this instance, right? It's like their policy. Like the car wash is like, hey, we got to get this animal out of here. We have to take apart your thing. I'm sure they probably said it's not going to be any cost to you. They've got to weigh the balances of the bad public relations if they just let it go. They're like, oh, just go ahead and drive. She goes online. She says, oh my
car
God.
Wash. I'm like, no,
the people at Mike's Car Wash told me that I should just leave this this groundhog in my bumper. I mean, come on. I see it as, I hope that she wasn't she wasn't charged anything, but the fact that she was stuck there for hours while they do this, like they're not in any position to be removing bumpers at a car wash, right? I mean, they've got to figure out how to do that.
I mean, I'm sure maybe they might have some ideas. Some people.
There was a Jiffy Lube next door, and they jumped in and helped out. So maybe they have some experience in this.
No. The gopher will be fine. Wash my damn car, all right? If the gopher doesn't like it, he will run away, and he won't come back. And that's what
if he does like it? It ends up chewing up your bumper. You want the groundhog out of there eventually, right?
But the bumper's made of metal.
The bumper's made of metal up underneath and plastic on the sides. The plastic he could get after,
I get a smoke bomb and
I just
smoke
think it's
that little
funny that
bastard out of there.
That the groundhog ran like they say, here, go free, little groundhog, and then he runs back into the car.
Yeah, because that's where he felt safe.
Yeah.
Jeff and Jeremy here with our Axiom 360 poll question. Just a few days left to save $500 on that Tesla Powerwall at September 30th. So you got till pretty much the rest of the week. Go to Axiom 360. You can follow the link at kzoz.com. We were asking you which would be a better halftime show after Usher has announced yesterday that he will be performing this year's halftime. AC/DC, Taylor Swift, or Usher. And right now, AC/DC obviously running away with this.
You know why AC/DC's on there, right? The mayor of Las Vegas came out in his address to the businesses in Vegas for, how to plan for the Super Bowl and all that stuff. He came out and his initial statement was, I hope AC/DC is the halftime show at this year's Super Bowl. And Jay-Z didn't listen to the mayor of Vegas, and Jay-Z said, I am the mayor of the world.
You think this is important, but the whole point of the question was, Usher's been named, but would you rather have Taylor Swift? But I was curious if our audience would rather have Taylor Swift than Usher, two artists that, we don't play and that nobody really probably even cares about anymore. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce apparently after the game wanted to go out to dinner.
What? I'm going to do it. I'm going to pull AC/DC off the poll question just for you, Jeremy.
Well, you don't have to do it for me. It's not for me. It was like to see how popular is Taylor Swift.
I know. I think you're 100% right on that.
We talk about her every day.
100% right on that.
I don't really care to talk about her every day, but every day there's something to talk about that I think is interesting. And apparently they went into a restaurant.
They ruined a girl's 22nd birthday party, for God's sake.
And they had made everybody leave this restaurant so her and Travis could have dinner. I don't know why they couldn't figure something out to where they could eat privately in the back by the kitchen. Or
we actually need you guys to leave right now. Before we left, they go, just so you guys know, your bill has been covered for you. It was over $700. It was a pretty hefty bill.
They told us that we could go to the other restaurant that was located in the same building.
Oh, well, that's cool. All right. Well, see, that's why you got to get the full story. So apparently, who covered the bill? I'm guessing Taylor Swift, or maybe Travis Kelce.
No, that was Travis. You
think Travis? Okay,
come on, you don't make the girl pay.
There was how many people were in this party? That said there was 8 people in this party. They were having somebody's 22nd birthday, and they had a bill that was over $700. And Travis Kelce not only had to buy Taylor, who's got 10 times more money than him, dinner, but he had to pay for everybody in the restaurant's bill so they would leave so they could have the place to themselves.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Which is more baller? Taking the world's most famous pop star out to dinner in your town. I don't know if that's his hometown or not. I don't know where he grew up, but it's his hometown now. On the rooftop restaurant, kicking off a 22-year-old's birthday party and making them leave, paying them off so you can have dinner with her on the rooftop, or having a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Which is more baller?
I would say the restaurant thing. For sure.
I think so, too.
For sure.
That's money well spent.
Bill Belichick is even weighing in.
Well, I would say that Travis Kelce's had a lot of big catches in his career. This would be the biggest.
Wow. A sense of humor from Bill Belichick.
The only time he's ever had a sense of humor.
See, I'm telling you, that's why I think he's
Taylor Swift is bringing out the best in people, Jeremy.
Oh, my gosh, that's funny. Congratulations again going out to David Morales of San Miguel, our Week 3 MVP winner in the Red Zone Challenge. $25 to the Poorhouse, as well as a bunch of the Sea Venture. He's got a round of golf, too. And he's our MVP. If you missed the Metallica, we'll play it again coming up with Kurt Olson this afternoon and Sue's tonight. KZOZ.com. Still not too late to play the Red Zone Challenge.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.